Well, I'm guessing if you've clicked on this video, you must like builds that do lots of damage, don't you? I bet you do, don't you? I bet you like it even more if they're really tanky too, don't they? You can admit it. Okay, it's fine. And what if? And okay, I'm throwing it out there, but this is a bit crazy. But what if it has a very low gear requirement and is like super easy to play, even like before level 100? Now you're interested. I could see. I knew you'd like this build. And what is that build, you ask? Well, we're talking about Bash today. Basic skill, really fucking strong in the PTR, and hopefully going into Season 4. Now, why am I making a build on this video and not all of the others? Well, I mean, I do plan to. I'm going to do a full overview of all of the builds. I've tested practically all of them. I think we're up to build 7 at the moment. All of them can go for a tier 200, no problemo. And I wanted to do it all in one video. But today, I really actually wanted to talk about this because it was one of the biggest surprises in all of my testing. So if you don't want to miss that big overall video, by the way, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Just give it a little tickle. Go on, see how it makes you feel. I guarantee you enjoy it. Actually, while you're at it, why not just hit that like button too? Yeah, it can't hurt, can it? So yeah, getting into the build, Bash, really, really strong. You're seeing it on screen here. This is a tier 200. I'll throw in some other clips of me doing bosses and stuff like that to show you that this absolutely rips. And it doesn't need any specific gear, really. You need some aspects, but now aspects, you have access to all of them from the get-go, so you can play this build right away. And let's get into a couple of the things that make this really special. I'll leave like a build planner along with this video that I'll keep up to date with the changes as we get them. But first and foremost is the new tempering affix, Bash Cleaves for X amount increased damage. Not only does this add a crap ton of damage, like it's up to like 300% without being masterworked. If you get masterworking on it, you can get like over 400%, which is insane. But Cleaves means AoE. Now, I don't know how most of you interpret Cleave, but for me, it's like a WoW player and just a general RPG player. It's always meant one additional target in my mind. Like Cleave means like one guy and the guy next to him gets hit by my attack. However, at the moment, it seems to be just turning Bash into a frontal AoE, hitting all of the enemies in front of you, kind of like how Double Swing does. Now, I'm not too sure what the upper limit is on this. I've got instances of hitting up to 9 enemies at once. There may be a cap. I'm not too sure. However, it is still a lot of enemies. What this does is make Bash a really decent AoE clearer. It's actually very smooth and very slick at getting through dungeons and feels really, really, really nice to use. Also, the increased damage just seems to scale like crazy and hits for insane amounts. We're talking easily averaging around like 30 million crits, all the way up to well over 100 with gear that is extremely lackluster. Then, of course, if you're going with a basic skill build, it's almost a necessity to go with adaptability. Now, this is added back in Season 3. We're going to be using it again here, but now we can use it on an amulet, which is really, really cool because this is going to give it an increased effect so that we now get an extra 50% effect off this aspect, giving us a gigantic boost to damage on basic attack skills, and feels really, really, really good. Also allows us to regenerate back up to max fury, which is also very good in its own right when we do something like use a kick or start combat for the first time. And the reason we want to be at high fury is because, like a lot of builds, we're going to be using Magnum Opus, the one-handed sword, which scales your damage with every point of fury you currently have. So you want to be spending most of your time at max fury. Now, with this build as well, we do spend it occasionally when you pop Wrath of the Berserker. You want to use Power Kick. What this does is it spends all of your fury and gives you the maximum damage output from Wrath of the Berserker for its duration. And this will give you a huge... This is where those 100 mil crits come in, right? This is when this happens within this window. And it's kind of a mechanic we've been using in builds before, but it is just ridiculously strong thanks to this new stuff with Bash. And like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, it's not just all damage. This build is tanky as fuck. You can stand in practically anything. I was doing Uber Grig and had like 4 stacks and still stood in everything and I was fine. Because you're able to use things like Might, which is probably one of the best defensives in the game. If you want to use Undying, you're attacking so fast, you'll be healing an insane amount per second. and so on and so forth. It just, you know, basic skill attacks synergize really well with defensive aspects a lot of the time. And then you also have all of the utility. If you're running Hectic, which I would very much recommend, it reduces all of your cooldowns down to practically nothing, so you can just pop your shouts once every 2 to 3 seconds, which is obviously really, really powerful for a Barbarian. But there's a lot you can do with that, and that's really the key point here. That's why I wanted to share this build specifically, is because I see this build serving as a very powerful base for a lot of other variations on it, and I wanted you guys to have this to play around with moving into Season 4, because this can be kind of the template that you use to build whatever build you feel like building on top of. And for me, the build that I'm looking at building on top of this build, I've said build a lot there, but you know what I mean, right? But I'm thinking Thorns. This could serve as a really powerful base for Thorns. Thorns is going to actually be, I think, the last build I test during the PTR. I'll be doing it live on stream over on Twitch, link down in the description below. But like I said at the beginning of the video, also, you know, I will be doing a huge overview video of all of the builds, where they rank, which ones are good, how to build them, all of that good stuff. Just make sure you hit that sub button so you don't miss that video. But it, you know, also helps out the channel, which is really nice, and I do really, really appreciate it. Anyways, that's the video. We got it done. Hooray! Anyways, enjoy the rest of your week, or whenever I get this video out. If it's a weekend, then enjoy that instead. Or no, enjoy, you know what, treat yourself. Enjoy the week and the weekend. Thanks for watching. Much love. See you on the next one. Bye.